he gonna do? Very well. An incredibly harrowing experience. I could very well have died. But now I have to go fix other things. I did plug it in now. Here. Nothing. You hear me, but I wasn't hearing the sound. Is that better? I have made an historic discovery, a fact even Lady Lynette will have no choice but to acknowledge. Yes, I'm rather looking forward to basking in the sunshine of her praise. Speaking of which, his infant return. Are you hearing that? Or no, you're not hearing that? Well, that's good. Well, I can go about that though. Only doing it on my audio, or is it too? Praise Baloney, I feared the worst. What happened out there? Primal, are you sure? Yet now that I think on it, it is reminiscent of the white whale of fauna legend, a massive creature said to swim in the sea of clouds. From what I have learned of comparable summons, Anu's god would certainly explain the sudden behavior toward the people of Cloud. Oh, you mean that they have fallen under the... I recall reading of such things in the documents provided by Master Alphen. Something important, Lady Lynette. A little recognition for the hero of the hour. few choice expressions of gratitude, respect, admiration, and so on. Why, yes, you are right, of course. Mistress Cleaver deserves all that and more for having risked her life to rescue such an esteemed personage. Well, if there is naught else to discuss, I would depart for Ishgard forthwith. The Holy See and the Temple am informed of this new threat, without delay. But of course, Mistress Cleaver, you have done more than enough here. Pray return to Ishgard with Lord Horshathon and give my warmest regards to the Count. So that's it then. No more territory. Very well. Horses are no longer needed. Take care, Lady Lynette. May our next meeting take place under these circumstances. All's well that ends well, eh? To the airship landing, then. We can start. Ishgard. You would need to come here. Okay, I can depend of airship travel. Chill is the wind on your face, the warmth of the blood pumping in your veins for the excitement. I find it incredibly invigorating. Or mayhap it is simply a death yet again. Haha! In any event, I must make for the congregation and inform Sir Imran of all that has occurred. Manalaine should have returned to the manor by now. Why not go? He is recovered from his ordeal. Welcome, Miss Cleaver. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes, please. Oh, it's you, Caroline. Gods, did he have to strike me so hard? Father, he did not know how I handled matters in Camp Cloudtop, how I endangered the lives of others through my own recklessness and incompetence. It's not a hero, is it? Let's see what you got for us, Mistress Cleaver. Toriel de Fortem's eldest son of Count Edmund de Fortem. You will forgive my disrespect. Half the woman he claims. I shall be glad to have you on my side. To the matter at hand, then. We will be assisting the compatriots of House Ismail. You are aware of our friendly rivalry, I take it. Suffice it to say, the prospect of assisting said houses does not fill me with joy. However, it's the will of the Holy See that we set aside our differences at this crucial juncture, but we shall speak more of that. First, we must needs secure Falcon's Nest. Let us make tables and foundation. Greetings, Mistress Cleaver. I've saddled a black chocobo for your journey to the Western Island, as per Lord Toriel's instructions. Will this be your first time riding a black chocobo, may I ask? So you're in for a treat, as I dare say you know. Killer breed can fly. Given the right conditions, they can carry you quite high, too, even over snow. You needn't worry about directing the bird, of course. Like all porters, she's trained to carry you to your by herself. Just relax and enjoy the view. Oh, but be sure not to relax your grip, will you? 2 hands on the reins at all times, if you please.
to the frozen wastes of the Western Highlands, once verdant tracts made pallid by the calamity. Beyond the towering wall of ice, to lands long forsaken that the Knights of Ishgard to reclaim. To the hamlet of Falcon's Nest, once abandoned, now freed of its pall of snow and ash, she came.
We could talk to him before we do. It's alright. The world looks quite different when viewed from the back of an airborne chocobo, does it not? I still find the experience strangely liberating. To business. Sir Redwald is in charge here. He should be inspecting us. It has been far, far too long, Lord Artorial. And who might your companion be? Pray forgive us our lateness, Sir Redwald. I present to you Caroline Cleaver, Ward of House Fortons. Ah, yes, of course. Lord Trollman spoke of you. I, Sir Redwald of House Durandare, do bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest. We are both eager to contribute to the settlement's restoration. How may we be of service? Before we speak of that, would I be correct in assuming that Mistress Cleaver is unfamiliar with our recent history? Then, with your permission, I shall recount the tale for her benefit. As you may know, Falcon's Nest was once a hamlet with a small garrison of knights and some few villagers, and then came the calamity. When it became clear that the snow, we had no choice but to order a complete withdrawal. The settlement and the entirety of the Western Highlands were to be abandoned. Abandoned to the heretics, Lady Iceheart and her kind have walked these lands with impunity ever since. But no longer. Holy See has commanded reclamation of the Western Highlands and the expulsion of heretical. Falcon's Nest is key to accomplishing these objectives, but as you can see, rebuilding the hamlet will be no small undertaking. Our craftsmen require support and protection. Any assistance you can offer will be greatly appreciated. As promised, we have House Fortons are at your disposal, Sir Redwald. You need several craftsmen in service to House Snell are contributing to the restoration of Falcon's Nest. These men and women are quite skilled at building and repairing fortifications, but their progress has been hampered by a number of factors. Roth, their foreman, tells me he has need of a woman with your talents. Would you be so kind as to see her now? Yes, I'm Roth. And who might you be? Ah, the promised help. Glad to have you aboard. I've the honor of overseeing before you. Sent me over on one of them blackbirds, same as you. Build and mend and tell others. Fury take me. This ice, it's bloody unnatural how fast it forms. It's icicle sprites, I tell you. Mark my word, there are pockets of 'em here and there, just waiting for me to turn my back so they can sneak out and do their dirty work. So I need you to search the hamlet and put an end to it. If you stand watch long enough, you're sure to find them. Haha, now there's a woman. What looks like she's found her marks. You're just the sort needed around here, the kind that'll hop to when she sees a task on her. You're a dab hand at warcraft, I can tell. Now I feel at arms to speak mind, but it doesn't take an expert to recognize it. I feel ways to keep you to myself, and there's others out what need help, same as me. So if you're what you've done, I'd ask you to head north to the fight. The bloody huge statue out of the way. Mason, by the name of Theron Mount, is out there. Good man, Theron Mount, but I reckon he's taken on too much work for one. There's something you can do for him. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see. What brings you out this way? Foreman Roth, did you assist? Hard hit for me to turn. I've been tasked with the restoration of this sculpture. 5 years of neglect have not been. Fortunately, I've just rather those DeFis have it. If you could slay 3 and bring me their bristles, I would be in your debt. Yes, there you are. Do the bristles. Of course that is. That's why they're perfect for scrubbing the soot from the statue. Beautiful, isn't it? A spitting image of Haldroth, first of the Azure Dragoons. One of Ishgard's founding. A symbol of everything the Dravinians despise, which is why they've taken to searing him with dragon fire every time they pass by. But this desecration of our nation's hero. Soon this statue once was, a proud, shining testament the determination of Ishmael that we have returned. Work may be vicious, harsh, but as a proud Ishgardian, I could ask for no greater honor. Are you for Falcon's Nest? If so, I've a favor to ask. There's this knight, Sir Yazidor, stationed at the anvil to the west of here. He's always treated me with kindness and I deserve, to be honest. At any rate, while you were away, she came through on patrol, and I think she might have left a package behind. Bit of a detour, but would you mind returning it to her? My thanks to you, friend. What's that package? I'm at the foggiest what you're talking about. Confound it, that fool of a... what a waste. Adventurer. Theron labors day and night without regard for his own well-being. At the very least, he ought to try to eat better. Fit to it. By the fury, have you no sense of decorum? Not seen favoring a lowborn mason in such a manner. Nevertheless, I appreciate your concern, as well as your willingness to assist your May your journey back to Falcon's Nest be safe. I give my regards to Sir Redwell. Must have thought your initiative, Mistress Cleaver. Roth tells me you have been quite busy. Alas, we have not the time to thank you properly. I have a task to all able-bodied men and women. You and Lord Vittorio included. Calm as ever, even when you must surely sense the gravity of the situation. A veteran, through and through, just as Lord Dromont said. Good. We have lost contact with a reconnaissance party sent north to Riversmith in search of the heretics' hideaway. Whether they were attacked or met with some other misfortune, we know not. But regardless of the cause, we must act quickly, for this is a harsh, unforgiving land which we can claim, and has claimed, the lives of many men. To ensure we find our missing knights as quickly as possible, I have assigned each party a different area to search. You and Lord Artorial will be working together. Seek him out when you are ready to depart, and good luck. It seems we have been assigned the area. Riversmeet, Mistress Cleaver. Lest you are unaware, the camp was one of many our knights were forced to abandon. We withdrew from this western highlands, one of many sacrifices made in the wake. It would not surprise me if our knights. There is but one way to find out, though. Let us go. Quite a few. There, below us, Camp Riversmeet, or what remains of it. I see no way to descend the cliffs safely from here. Should we fall, the beasts below would make short work of us. Come, I know a path to the riverbed below, east of the Black Iron Bridge. The reconnaissance party came this way. I see no sign of danger. Still, it is possible that recent storms have obscured their trail, or that they took an alternate route to Camp Riversmith until we investigate the camp itself. We cannot be certain. We must press on. I heard sounds of a struggle. Thank the Fury. I thought no one would come. 3 heretics slain and 1 knight saved. Just like that. You certainly live up to your reputation, Mistress Cleaver. What happened here, sir? Is there no one else? We were caught in a furious blizzard north of here. Hot, naught but white all around, until we saw shapes moving toward us, running towards us, with naked steel in their hands. I cut down a few of the bastards who came close, but the others, they were shouting and screaming, but after a while I could only hear unfamiliar voices. I found my way to the camp, hoping to hide while the storm passed. The heretics tracked you here. Aye, my lord, the heretics' hideaway lies somewhere to the north. We must move quickly before the snow buries all traces of their passing. For my brothers, we must. Have faith, sir. Justice will be done. But first, we must see you to safety. It has remains of heretics, but we cannot very well leave our friend here. I will follow and gather reinforcements. In the meantime, I would have you search the area to the north of the camp for signs of the attack. Should you not wait, follow it back to there forthwith, being sure to leave me some footprints. I realize that this plan may place you in considerable danger, but I see no alternative. Rest assured, we will not be far behind. Ooh, okay, dude. Let's see how badly I do this one. sure I was supposed to be distracted by those things. Lose my way.
Looking for me, I presume.
Ah, the child who glimpsed the truth.
No! It cannot be.
She, as didst thou. Alike in gifts, yet set upon different paths.
He speaks true, warrior of light. Like you, I have been blessed with the echo. The visions terrified. They came without warning. I wondered what I had done to deserve them. But I had no time to ponder such things, once the calamity came. The land turned against us, and in a matter of hours, Falcon's Nest was buried under 10 fulms of ice and snow. We had no choice but to flee for Ishgard. We came to the wall, and while we searched for a way through, there was an avalanche. And then I was alone. So I set forth for Dravania. I knew full well what might happen where I found. But I could not survive on my own. I was found, of course. And not by a mere dragon, but by the great worm Hraesvelgr. And it was then that I knew why I had been given this gift. For with it I heard his voice, and saw the truth through his eyes. I was chosen to deliver this revelation to the people, to bring dragon and man together as they once were, and should ever be.
Oh.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. You have to believe me. It was beyond my control. Children taught to fear the skies, who saw their loved ones slaughtered. Yet, though they know where the fault truly lies, fell upon them with such fury.
Men die, and their children forget. But we are everlasting. To us, then is as now. Thou canst not comprehend the violation, the outrage, the fury.
I will make this right. I am neither a saint nor a savior, just another sinner. Yet I will not forsake this cause. I cannot. I will see this cycle broken and peace restored. We can, for we are now as one.
Mistress Cleaver, Grace Haloni, you are alive. Swiftly as we could, but I see we aren't today. So they were lurking in the cellar of this farmhouse. 'Tis a pity, lady, but we must not detract from your accomplishment. We have them on the run. We have dealt our foes, my friend. See that your efforts are recognized.
Great series.
Establish so remote a location could not have been easy. Tenacious devil. Have matters here well in hand, let us return to Falcon's Nest and share our discoveries with Sir Redwald. Toril, Mistress Cleaver, full glad I am to see you both hale and hearty. What news? You mean to say down on your own and slew them before reinforcements could arrive? By the Fury! I believe we have made great strides toward purging these lands of heretics, and I mean to say as much when I deliver my report to my father in the Holy See. As will I, Lord Petoro. May it serve to remind our superiors what houses, during their fortune, could achieve through continued cooperation. Indeed, I trust you and your knights are content to handle the rest. We most certainly are, my lord. During your short time with us, you and Mistress Cleaver have accomplished far more than I had thought possible. I cannot, in good conscience, impose upon you any longer. Pray return to Ishtar with my thanks. As you wish, Sir Redwald. We thank you for your hospitality. Mistress Cleaver, I would from the first questioned your motives and your competence, unjustly, I now realize. Rumors have a way of growing more fantastic as they spread. Quite frankly, those surrounding you beggar belief. But Hoshfon swore that all the stories were true. He championed your cause and begged Father to grant you patronage. And he duly listened because, for all his wisdom, he has never been able to say no to my dear half-brother. The legacy of my father's sole expression. Mother hated him, of course. Even on her deathbed, she refused to acknowledge him. And, to be honest, she was not alone in her feelings. The worst of it. At Camp when we came upon immediately that one of us would have to pursue the heretics alone, an honor danger. And there you were of Eorzea, an honored guest at House Portal, my new comrade in arms, Oshafon's dear friend. I told myself it was to be a test, but part of me hoped that you would fail. Yet you accepted the task without a word of protest, nor any tracked the enemy down, faced him alone, and lived to tell the tale. Plainly, Hoshafont had the right of it all along. That I doubted your strength speaks my own weakness. I doubt you again, Mistress Cleaver. On that, you have my word. Ah, Mistress Cleaver, my lord, Count much desires to speak with you, regarding your time with Lord Ardborel and Lord Emanuel. If you would remain here for a moment.
The hero returns. I cannot thank you enough for saving young Emanelane's life. Aye, he told me everything. I've also received letters from both House Zamael and Durandare, praising your conduct, and that of House Forton. You've won us much honor, my friend.
My lord!
What is it?
Pray, forgive the intrusion, my lord, but I bring grave tidings. Have been detained on suspicion of fomenting heresy.
What? Explain.
They were observed entering a tavern in the lower levels on some half-dozen occasions. There, it is claimed, they made a number of inquiries. Inquiries which brought them into contact with certain... 'Twas this which prompted a knight of the Heavensward to demand that they be questioned. Sir Grinno, my lord.
Sir Grinno is a brute. Exceedingly less. He is also a son of House Zamael. Quickly we forget the petty nature of men. I'd wager your friends are no more than pawns in another of my countrymen. Such is the way of things between the high houses.
Though you have won the hearts and minds of many of my those who will never be swayed. Men, your effort. Present your successes, even as we celebrate. Just like that one such member of House Zamael is manipulating Sir Grinno, for he is not a man to dabble in politics of his own volition. He may genuinely believe your friends to be guilty, though I'm quite certain his masters know better. Yet the truth will avail us not if we cannot prove their innocence. You would do well to speak with Sir Imric at the congregation of He will know more of these charges. It's been too long, Caroline, but that this visit came under happier circumstances. Sort of late. Word of their detainment reached me while I was delivering my report on the dawn of the crime. Truly, more ludicrous. These charges would have flying a feathered quail. That Sir Renald's accusations are baseless, I have no doubt. Refuting them will be difficult, however, as he is a knight of the Heavensward. I speak of the personal guard of the Archbishop, the 12 finest knights in all of Ishgard, sworn to serve his eminence alone. Suffice it to say, their testimony is unimpeachable, and I have not the authority to challenge their actions. After all the Scions have done, routing the heretics and defeating Shiva, helping us to the steps of and drive back the Dwarvinian horde, after proving themselves true occasions, is there not we can do? I fear there is but one path left to us. We must demand a trial by combat. But of course, in a trial by combat, sanctioned by the Inquisition, the victor's claim is judged true regardless of Inquisition's standard. Under Ishgardian law, a trial by combat pits the accuser against the accused. In this instance, Master Alphino and Mistress Pitaru would be expected to face Sir Brunel with a second of his choosing, another knight of the Heavensward most likely. Two of them, by the Fury, that can hardly be considered fair. Master Alphino's magical talents will not have gone unnoticed, meaning that he will have no choice but to participate. Mistress Pitaru, on the other hand, is quite obviously bereft of martial skill and should be afforded the right to name a champion to fight in her stead. If you doubt, I'm ready and willing to serve in this capacity, as I'm sure is Lord Holshamon, but all here present know that you are the most accomplished warrior among us, and you have in the realm at large. It is settled. I will visit Master Alphino once. Attention. Caroline, meet me at the tribunal when you have been my friend. You visit me in a most opportune moment. Have tidings that you of all people should be. After our last encounter, I presented our findings on the art of summoning to my fellow scholars. Suffice it to say that the response has been enthusiastic. In addition to a flood of offers to assist with my research, I have also been promised a contribution of several rare elegant homestones. I imagine that any summoning knowledge hidden within those relics would prove of great benefit. So, shall we journey out to Mordona now and pay a visit to Ramos? Caroline, how do you fare, my friend? As ever, we here at St. Conyers remain firmly entrenched in our efforts to excavate the secrets of the elegant empire. Must be armed with knowledge if they are to truly pave the way to the future. Ah, I see you are here with the intrepid Demetra. Might I assume you have come to collect your promised tombstones? I am most eager to sink scholar's teeth into something new. And allow me to keep your program. We have uncovered a number of relics, which on cursory inspection appear to contain a detailed methodology for several summoner incantations. Who better than you to decipher their mysteries? Leviathan, Mamun, Shiva. With every new primal that appears, the importance of a thorough study of summoning magics becomes ever more apparent. Speaking of those particular deities, Caroline, I'm given to understand that you had a hand in defeating every one of them. Your name features quite prominently in the reports we received from the scions of the Seventh Dawn. As you were present at each of their downfalls, it then follows that your aura was infused with the essence of those primals. Could it be possible that you now have the potential to call forth new Agni? Headed 12, of course. The most trying of the requisite conditions has already been met. All that remains is to perform the summoning rituals at locations charged with the appropriate elemental energies. Master Rumrose, can you suggest any places in which it's heavily toward either water, lightning, or ice? That would serve your needs for lightning. The area is a long discharge. Singing shards of perform the austerities of lightning and take Ramu Agni into this world. Let us then begin the austerity's flight. Concentrate on shifting your spirit energies toward the desired. I do not understand. All of the conditions have been fulfilled. Ritual has never failed us before. We be missing. Oh, there is little point. We return to Danya. Greetings, Caroline. Since we last met, the arduous task of deciphering those tombstones has occupied my every waking moment. I have made significant progress, but the cause of the ritual's failure yet eludes me. Somewhat heartened, however, by my discovery of a number of new incantations. In fact, there's one spell which I believe you could soon master. Pray, forgive my interruption. You are the leaders of the research effort on summoning magics, yes? I'm Captain Dancing Wolf of the Immortal Flames. It is fortunate that I find you together, as I have questions for you both. And what would the Immortal Flames want with us, Captain Wolf? Does old Osmir Military have some vested interest in the activities of summoners? There's one summoner in particular, madam. We seek a man by the name of Tristan. You know him. I heard reports that you had been in pursuit of our former soldier. but I always like to have confirmation on our intelligence. The Immortal Flames has its own reasons for wanting Tristan found. If you have any idea of his whereabouts, then I must know that you know. So Tristan matched his summoning magics against yours and was ultimately consumed in fire. And you are certain he perished. We're giving you reason to suspect otherwise. I do not doubt the veracity of your tale, but there has been an incident. A merchant caravan was recently attacked by a man who, by the description given, closely resembles Tristan's appearance. Should we allow the crime of a former immortal flame to go unanswered, then the integrity of the entire organization would be called into question. I will find him and see that justice is served. We looked on as Tristan was engulfed in flames, not remained, not even a charred corpse, and we believed him utterly consumed. Could he have somehow survived that inferno? If he is alive, then we have unwittingly permitted the escape of a known pawn of the Paraclets. Captain us to accompany you on your investigation. Your combined expertise in summoning arts is Lady occurred on one of the roads out of Dryba. Join me at the settlement proper, and we can continue the search for. Demetra, Caroline, as we are now cooperating on this investigation with some serious duties. Let's split up and find out. I did just part in the body of a merchant. Such things are hardly noteworthy around here, though. To take. Mine survived the assault and caught a glimpse of the villain's twisted face. Had he not left camp the moment. Your attacks on out on the road? I hear the man who did it was in a robe that was black as midnight. One of Ifrit's temperament, I should think. So, we have one merchant left alive to tell the tale. According to my inquiries, our intrepid will likely be en route to Highbridge. We may yet catch him on the road if we are swift. I heard him all war cries. Are you unhurt, sir? Yes, thank you. Well, aside from the injuries I sustained from a previous incident, I suppose. First the caravan, and now this. Must all be so eager to usher me into his hall. Concerning the assault on your caravan that we endeavored to seek you. Out, sir. Is there aught you can tell us of the attacker? I should be glad to see him brought to justice, though I did not see his face in any great detail, concealed as it was in the depths of a black cowl. I did glimpse a lock of silvery hair. By his stature I marked him of Kyrian stock, and by his fiery servant, hell-spawned demon in disguise. Fiery servant. Balls. That's the one. Where do you people find those things? The villain was in command of Ifrit, Eggy Ben. We know the affinity Tristan has for prime flame. All the evidence points towards our man. Thank you for your cooperation, sir. You have been great help to our investigation. Oh, think nothing of it. Consider it poor recompense for my rescue at the hands of this gallant adventurer. I must report these developments to my superiors at the Hall of Flames. Pray join me in Old Ock. There is more I would discuss with you. of Tristan's older brother. Eden. Both were soldiers in service to the immortal flames. Both were soldiers under my command. The unit was one of many deployed in the mission to destroy the Primal Earthquake, an operation that succeeded at a staggering cost. Those who were not incinerated were tempered, with Eden suffering the latter fate. As you well know, a primal mercy we can grant such unfortunates as a swift journey befalls. Tristan volunteered to limit the first existence of his own brother. He returned to Old Olive, Aiden's blood on his blade, and I watched helpless as the guilt slowly strangled the life. Words of comfort could reach him, and when he at last quit the flames, he was a husk of the man he once was. Never did I imagine his grief-maddened mind would drive him to such desperate evils. Tristan was my soldier, and it is my responsibility to stop him. Thanks to your aid, we have mounting proof that he is still out. When we are ready, we shall make our move. We are content to follow your lead in this, Captain Wolf. We should certainly be fully prepared if we are to meet the Dark Summoner battle. To that end, Caroline, I would teach you one of the incantations I gleaned from those repositories of Elegant wisdom. It is a spell of damaging magic, employed in combat by the summoners of Elk. Let us call upon Captain Wolf again once you have mastered its use. It would not do to Tristan while stumbling over unfamiliar regions. Auspicious timing. There has been news and none of it good. Our soldiers in Central Fanoline have attacked. I looked over the notes for the initial investigation, and it would seem Tristan or someone who looks very much like him. Let's check again. I'll have one of my men contact Jamatra with the details, but I suggest we head out to Nawa Mines immediately and question one of the surviving victims. What do you mean, more questions? I've spilled me tale to 3 different soldiers. My work gets further and further behind every time I gotta stop and talk to you first. Here's an idea, though. How about you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours? That big lad in the uniform there looks like he could lift some good-sized rocks. And what about you, lass? You some sort of mage? We've had some trouble with the local brigands, swiping our fires, silver, and you're just the woman to get it back. That stuff's as rare as chocobo teeth, you know. Just a moment, sir. We don't have the time for these distractions. Then maybe I don't got the time to talk to you. Not until there's a little give with your take. I fear he means to be stubborn about this, Caroline. Please humor the man and retrieve his precious ore from the Spriggans. Find them Spriggans, lass. What about me fire, silver? Oh, you got the whole lot back. Much appreciated. My apologies. My studies took rather longer than I... Captain Wolf, is everything all right? Everything's fine. Now, let's hear your story, sir. I reckon you've earned it. Well, we was in the mine, loading the carts with our haul for the day. This bloke in robes appears. Doesn't say a word. The bastard just snaps his fingers and sets his pet demon to lighten me mates on fire. Different Eggy, Caroline, if you would be so kind. Bloody hells! Aye, that's the fiend I saw. It is as we feared then, and this robe-clad man, do you have any idea of why he attacked you? Alas, there's more than silver to be had from Nanawa. On a good day, we dig up our fair share of crystals as well. That seems to be what he was after. not ashamed to say that I fled for me life once folks started going up in flames, but when I went back to sort out the mess, the cart that we had the crystals in was empty. He took them all? Aye, every single one. And that's all I've got to say about that. Hope you catch the bastard. Crystals. There was a crate of crystals on the list of goods stolen from that caravan. He must have taken everything else to conceal his intent. Our quarry grows careless, or simply impatient. It's time I re-examined certain other incidents that we did not think related to this case. Meet me at the Hall of Flames, and we shall discuss the matter further. I can imagine only one reason why a man such as Tristan would seek to acquire a wealth of crystals. Come, Caroline, let us not keep Captain Wolf waiting. Okay. We inspected our incident reports, paying close attention to our tests that included crystals. We had attributed several recent raids to the emulsion, but the victims were, every one of them, burned to death. Considering Elizabeth's affinity to fire, but to find not a single arrow or spear wound. It is highly unlikely. Perhaps I shall hear all of it. Judging by the sheer number of crystals involved, we must assume that this villain intends to call forth the crime. After my encounter with Ifrit, I learned just how devastatingly powerful these entities can be, and I believe that summoners with their ability to harness such power hold the potential to achieve great things. But if Tristan truly is mad enough to summon a primal, then that unthinkable act and the bloody deeds he performed in preparation for it will cause people to question the motives of all who practice the summoner's art. My studies of the tombstones revealed vigilation. Summoners of Alad were creating ancient crimes, turned to revulsion as practitioners, intoxicated by their own yard of summoning, as a means to further their own selfish ambition. That is not to say, of course, that all summoners choose to become pirates. Amongst the common people, however, strongly held superstition that those who meddled in the powers of primals ultimately fell into the embrace of evil. This superstition blossomed into outright terror, and that is when the Mage Knights began. By the end of the Third Astral Era, the last of the summoners had vanished from the stage of history. And should we allow Tristan to go through with his plans, then we risk a repeat of that tragedy. I will review the state of pulls on the crystal trade routes. We will catch him. Caroline, before I joined you at the Anawa mines, I was able to recover another incantation that may prove useful in the coming days. The old experience. Greetings, Carol. I hope you are prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our black-robed villain has ceased his attacks. Now it is our turn to go on the offensive. With the blessings of my supervisors, I have arranged for a lightly guarded shipment of crystals with which we will lure Tristan in. And I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Mithra, and she will meet us in Camp Bluebird. Let us bring a Caroline, you're here. Good. Our crystal couriers just left. The caravan will immediately break an axle before reaching the east watch. We freed nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. I had the driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of so we can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. I trust you need further explanations. Get to your assigned position and do your best to keep out of sight. Ah, it burns! It burns! Okay. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. He popped right up me by surprise. Same happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack, an underling, judging by the ease with which I dispatched him. But I have never before seen such teleportation ranges. No, it cannot be. You know this man, Captain Wolf. This is a heathen, Tristan's brother. But how? He was tempered, slain. And now both siblings have disappointed me. I should exercise more care in choosing my pawns. An Ascian? That voice. You were the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. Have you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world? Tristan. Yes, that was the other one's name. I had hoped to groom him, granted him the knowledge of Alec's mages, that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter, Bringer of Light had an adequate replacement for my failed God-slayer. But with every primal you kill, the beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals and watch as they summon ever more terrible deities. When the confluence of our chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. He's gone. And we should be gone. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds, then await you outside the Hall of Flame. I believe some reassessment is in order. We now know that the black-robed menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother, a heathen, a reanimated puppet under the control of an Ascian. Both brothers were present at Ifrit's defeat, so the heathen's aura, too, would have been stained with Primal's essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command the Plague. Or for the Ascian to raise the and press him into service as his pet son. I shall see the Blackbird hurt, his cruel decapitated. The Paragon has crimes for which he must answer. Great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the remaining tombstones. We cannot face an Ascian. Caroline, if you've come the word on the Ascians, I fear I have no progress to report. We did, however, hold a service for a heathen. I assembled the soldiers from his old unit and together we conveyed his remains to the priests of Gaul. As for Panolin's trade routes, there is still the odd raid by bandits with Easter, not that involves men in black robes. I must confess I'm at a loss as to how we might track our foe. Have you spoken with her Mutra? I believe she had new findings to share with me. you are. We have much to discuss. I've been engrossed in my studies, you see, seeking every advantage for our inevitable clash. And as I struggled to unravel the ancient knowledge of the tombstones, I unlocked a good many mysteries, including the reason why you were unable. When you summon an avatar, you draw upon Reservoir of Aether to grant life, form what is known as an arcane entity. How much we are admitted. But our etheric reservoirs are finite. Thus, the magnitude of Aether that you are able to summon is limited by the extent of your own life force. Simply put, if the Aether is too powerful, then the summoning fails. But do not despair. The summoners of Allah devised a method by which one would certainly get intrinsic limitation. Rather than attempt to summon a separate physical manifestation of a certain thing, the most accomplished mages discovered that far less Aether was required to infuse themselves with the essence of a harmless being. The technique by which a summoner would achieve this heightened state was known as trance. Shall we see if you can master this method? It may even allow you to continue the parable, but not if the essence is of an ordinary kind. Yet we must set our sights on the more potent, most fierce. I speak of Bahamut. On the day of the calamity, the dragon vanished in an explosion so massive that his ace the far corners of Aeol's. You, among many others, have already been touched by his essence. All that remains is to perform the meditate in a place steeped in Bahamut's energies. You should be aware of the dead Redwood. As for setting foot within the only secret, I believe Captain Wolf can assist us. Shall we pay him a visit? Matra here is certainly not one to do things by hand. To help you in entry, the grief or so the wasteland of the Cardinal Flag disputed to you, currently administered by the Eorzean. Were in full admittance to the area is a bureaucratic nightmare. This matter is stable to secure permission to visit the Immortal Flames airship land. If we wish to enter the flats proper, we will have to do so under cover of night. Prepare yourselves for a tense journey, then make your way to the landing and hold up. I have one of our elite flyers standing by. I'll fly you to the flats, but that's as far as you're authorized to go. Stay on the landing, or face the consequences. That's what became of the cards. Never before have I sensed such tainted aether. Let us not linger. mind now to Bahamut's terrible majesty. Allow his power to seep into your very being. Nothing. You may need to deepen your meditations. Of Bahamut, the essence of the Elder Karma should carry. Chaos rises in the present, but you, bringer of light, can be come and be doused in the endless waters of the 12th chalice. I did not anticipate this. You should meditations under such duress. But I shall not underestimate you again. Our next meeting shall be our last, Brightly replied. We faced a pair, and it is all thanks to you and the towering might of Bahamut that you now command. Aye, despite the Ascians' interference, we achieved what we came here for. But I'm afraid this is not the place to celebrate it. Let us return to the landing before the dawn's light finds us in forbidden territory. We have reason to rejoice, friends. It would seem like we just an adventure went unnoticed by the superiors, and more importantly, we seized the upper hand in the battle against the Ascians. Truce did appear most effective against a mortal foe. For such a hurried night's image proved quite a harvest indeed. Aye, but it is a pity the bastard fled when he did. I would have liked to score then and there. It was for the best, Captain Wolf. If we would truly defeat the Ascians, then we must be prepared to destroy him utterly, body and soul. I was about to send for you. The mantra should be here any moment. Ah, wonderful. We're all here. I've been pondering some metaphysical theories. And what are my conclusions with ever since our battle on the flats, the memory of our advent in the field has been preying on my mind. According to the Scions and their research, Paragons are technically immortal. They are said to be ethereal entities with no physical form of their own, instead possessing mortal host after mortal host down the ages. But once Caroline had acquired the red worm trains, the haste with which the Ascian withdrew did not seem to mean the action of a being who harbors no people. It's the question. Could it be that the 12th and his black-masked brethren were not practiced in the art of possessing red-veiled men? At the time of the battle, our bodies were the only available hosts nearby, assuming that he also lacks his superior's facility to flee the space between its worlds. I suspect that our host's sudden from an inability to force his soul to lessons. much, including the reason why he chose the deceased as his puppet. I believe the theory is sound. Shall we put it to the test? If we are able to learn that the 12 Kua locations devoid of potential hosts, then we might succeed in destroying them. And what are we waiting for? We must begin devising a plan to draw the boat from Pyre. Not so fast, Captain Wolf. We must first obtain the means by which we can ensure the Asian's demise. The mighty coup de grace delivered before he has the chance to return. Caroline hears a passage within the last tombstones that describes how the power of a trance can be unleashed, devastating blast. The technique itself, however, was not accepted. According to my research, from a forbidden book on the shelves of the Great Bubol Library. To reach the library will require a long parallel spine and into the wilds of the Dravidian hinterlands. But I believe we three are up to the task. Shall we be on our way then? Defeating the 12 fellows will soon be within our grasp. Okay. We better go back to our main book.